It is time to call to order the Orange Economic Development Corporation for August 26, 2025 at 4:32 p.m. Motion finding that the advance posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all minutes and pending resolutions on this agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the caption of the resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum 3 minutes for each speaker. Your comments are appreciated. As the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the corporation to respond to items not listed on the agenda, your comments will be duly noted by the corporation and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the EDC's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. Is there anyone that didn't get signed up that wants to speak during this portion? Okay. Number 4, approval of minutes. A, August 12th, 2025, Orange Economic Development Corporation meeting minutes. If everyone's had an opportunity to read those, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Number 5, public hearing. A, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving comments regarding financial incentives related to infrastructure improvements at HEB located at Interstate Highway 10 West on North 16th Street, Orange, Texas, 77632. The incentive package under consideration includes funding in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million and a sales tax rebate equal to 33% of sales tax revenue generated at the site over a 10-year period. The proposed incentives are intended to support economic development efforts. Mr. Trahan.
Yeah, so a few introductory comments, and then I would like to formally introduce the HEB representative, Brad Wilson, who is the pre-development manager. However, the state of Texas mandates a public hearing for us to consider incentives as we're working through a proposed project that is part of the due diligence part of the project. So we do have Brad Wilson with us today. I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to him, ask him to share some insight in terms of basically where we are in the project and what the next steps will be. And then we'll step back from the podium, and then we'll allow anyone in the audience who would like to come up, state their name, their address, and any questions or comments. And between the two of us, we'll try to share the information that we can at this point in time, and then we'll go from there. So let me introduce Brad Wilson, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Yeah, so like Jay said, my name is Brad Wilson. I'm here representing HEB today. I'm a pre-development services manager. And, like Jay mentioned, we're at this point in time, we're still in a due diligence phase of the project. No purchases have been made, anything of that nature. We're just kind of in a planning and a feasibility study phase to make sure that, trying to make sure that we can make the project work as we want it to work, and, make sure that, everything's kind of in order and we've got all our ducks in a row before we really kind of kick this thing into full force. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that I can answer. Like I said, still very, very early on, so there's only, so many things that I can share that I'm even aware of, things that I even know. But I'm happy to answer anything that anything that I can.
So Brad, if you'll step over here, I've asked Hillary to go ahead and project the preliminary site plan on the big screen, and everybody can kind of use this as a perspective in terms of basically what is preliminary at this point for us to view, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be pulling up for us at this point in time, so I'll ask Hillary to continue to work on it, but I'll turn it back over to you, and we'll invite anybody from the audience to come up to the podium and ask any questions, make comments, and we'll try to do the best we can to answer.
Okay. Is there anyone that wants to ask any questions or give concerns, comments on this project, this proposed project? If you do, y'all can line up over here, make sure you give your name and address.
Oh, come on, just me? Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Dina Hughes, and I serve as the Chief Executive Officer for TAN Healthcare, or Triangle Area Network, which is located at Northway. As the CEO of TAN Healthcare, I want to begin by saying how much we value the City of Orange and the work being done to bring new investment and opportunities to our community. A new HEB would no doubt be an asset, providing jobs, access to groceries, and an anchor for future economic growth. At the same time, I want to highlight that TAN Healthcare has been a part of this community since 2016. From our Orange Center, we have served approximately 8,000 patients and employ a staff of 20 team members, both of whom live and work right here in Orange. Our patients, many facing barriers with transportation and access to care, depend on us being present and consistent. We currently have a lease at our location through 2031 and remain committed to serving Orange. We stand ready to work with the city, our landlord, and HEB to ensure that whatever the outcome, the health needs of Orange residents are protected and prioritized. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and for your continued support of TAN and the people that we serve. Thank you. But I do have one question. As a tenant, I've had a little bit of difficulty trying to connect with the existing landlord on what's up, because we are hearing about everything kind of like everyone else is. And so I would be nice to know, who do I write my rent check to September 1st? Because I don't know who owns what. So if there's any information that can be shared in that regard, just so we're kind of clear, we will have patients asking and wondering where are their services going. So the more information we can have to support and align would be truly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Just for the sake of clarity, like I said, HEB has not made any purchases at this time. This is still just in a feasibility study phase. So nothing has changed hands. We've not taken anything over. And as of this point in time, we don't have any, we have not made any kind of plans or had any real discussions on, what would happen going forward with the timing of the existing center. What would come with the existing leases. All those things are, honestly, those discussions are kind of above my pay grade. But like I said, as of now, as of this time, nothing has changed hands, so there are no plans to kind of move forward with or make any changes at this point in time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I was gonna say something, but she's answered those questions.
Okay. Same for you? Yeah. Okay.
We're all in the same situation. Yeah, we've all got leases that have a ways to go,
Right.
and,
It's a question we have too. We're just
Yeah.
not there in the process yet to know. So if I could, now that we've got this up, could you maybe give a little more insight to everyone?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Ms. McConnell.
Jennifer McConnell, 2557 Carolyn Drive, Orange. My question is do we have any type of timeline on when final decisions will be made, when construction would start, anything like that?
We do not at this time. Like I said, this is still very much in the study phase, and just trying to, like I said, make sure that things can be done the way that they would need to be done to make this, yes, obviously a positive for us, but a positive for the community as well. We want to make sure we go about things the right way, and we're serving the community in the best way that we can. So we are still in that study phase. We do not have any timelines that have been kind of set in place.
Or no deadlines or anything?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a quick overview of kind of what's currently being contemplated. As I said, nothing But as of this current time, this is, Highway 7 and I-10. This is the current location of Meeks Drive. The intent would be to, reconnect Meeks Drive into Highway 87 here, hopefully to improve circulation at that intersection. It would allow for better movement. Here right now, if you're coming off of, residents coming off of Main Street here, you're kind of held to only turning right, onto I-10. This would give better access back to the main intersection here. We would also give solid retention ponds to hopefully, help improve drainage in that area, make sure that, storm flows would be handled accordingly. The store at this point in time is currently contemplated to sit, here in this area, and then this would be, reserved for some other kind of future development. We don't know what that is at this point in time. It would just be, at this point in time, it's land that we're still working through what that would look like.
Nobody else has any questions? I know there was a lot of questions floating around. No?
So,
Yes, yes.
Yes, Pat Holmes, 811 6th Street. So, I mean, I know when y'all were talking about, I think on, MacArthur or something like that, at one time, and then that fell through.
Yes, sir.
So you're still in development or study with this?
That's correct.
Is there any other sites you're looking at also, or?
It's not really anything I can discuss right now.
Okay.
Like I said, this is the one that we're focusing on at this point in time. Anything beyond that, I'm not really at liberty to discuss.
Okay, and also that tax incentive, is that something y'all ask for all the, 10 years, something like that? Is that pretty much something you throw out there, or would that decide, I mean?
This is a part of our process to see, like I said, obviously it needs to be feasible for us to do the work. There is a portion of public improvement that would be done as part of this project, which is really kind of where the discussion of tax incentive comes into play.
Gotcha, okay. All right, that's it, thank you.
I was just curious, is there a timeline that you're looking at to make a decision around site selection?
Not anything that I can discuss.
Okay.
Like I said, those kinds of discussions have to come from above my head.
Anybody else?
So before we close it, am I able? Okay. So here's thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being interested. This is awesome to see that people are interested. So basically, for those who may not have ever been to an EDC meeting before or watched one of the videos we've made over the last 10 years on how it works, people can come to us at any time and say, we'd like to start a business in Orange. Not very many other cities within our area have an EDC. So normally if they come to a city without one, everything's just on them. However, we've made our claim to fame over the last 15 years by saying, come to Orange and we have an incentive we can give you that's reimbursable. So like once they come in and they bring the business, we come in and say, we'll help you with infrastructure costs, whatever Texas legislature has allowed us to do. And so once they build that and everything's confirmed, then they receive whatever incentive we agreed upon with them as a reimbursement, saying thank you for choosing Orange. So when this one hit, because everybody's been on social media for 20 years saying we wish we had a bigger HEB, it's brought a lot more attention than the donut shop or the third Whataburger everybody got mad about and things of that nature. And so because it's been on the news, there's also been like 7 other developments we've had here recently that weren't on the news. So this right here is them coming and saying, we are looking at Orange, we're interested in Orange, something special is happening in Orange, and if we choose to come, would you like to provide us with an economic incentive? We're going to talk about whether or not we'd like to do that. Now, once that happens, if they were to back out and say, we're not coming to Orange, that money does not go anywhere because it's only reimbursable. Like they don't get a check and get to go throw it all on black at the casino. So what happens is if they don't choose Orange and this goes kerplunk, then that money goes back into our account and we look for the next business venture to support. But right now, we're very honored that they're choosing Orange. It's something that's been on my social media, I don't know how many times. I know that it might make some feel like, what's really happening? Are we trying to hurt others? That's not what they're doing right now, but it's our job to let everyone that's interested know that we're open for business. And so that's what we're doing here tonight. So thank you.
And at the risk of running long, I think it's also important to explain where the funds come from. I feel like a lot of people think that it's your tax dollars that we're throwing at businesses, and that's not how it works. Maybe Mr. Trahan wants to give a real quick explanation of where the funds come from so that
Yeah.
we're all on the same page.
Sure. So basically, the City of Orange is classified as a 4B, Economic Development Corporation. Every taxable sale in the City of Orange has a tax rate of 8.25%. Of the 8.25%, 1.5% goes directly to the City of Orange. Of that 1.5%, and this is where the drill down is, 0.5% is a restricted sales tax that goes to this Economic Development Fund to help offset the cost of eligible infrastructure, for example, concrete work, storm drainage, everything that would be real property improvements. So we're very blessed in the City of Orange that the voters approved this many years ago, and to the point, there is no property tax paid to a project. It is this restricted sales tax for the purpose of economic development. And that is the difference maker. That is the difference maker in landing Chick-fil-A, in Starbucks, improvements at Child's that's happening right now. It's a difference maker. And so what we do is we pull a package together based on a request, and as part of that, the state mandates one public hearing for anyone who has a comment or questions to share their insight. And also for us to share the information that we're approved to share at that point in time. So whenever we submitted the published notice for the public hearing and it hit the media, that was an action step that we were advised by legal that we have to take. And HEB approved using HEB as the project title. And that's what kind of created and stirred the interest. But at this point in time, it's just one of many, many action steps that have to take place before a formal announcement is made. But at least it keeps us competitive. Now, in terms of all the logistics of what happens with the current tenants, that's for TCP Realty, the owner of Northway Shopping Center, to have that discussion with their tenants. The city does not get involved in that. That is an ownership discussion. So I just want to clarify that. But we're basically making moves on the advisement of our city attorney, and subject to the request, now we can disclose of HEB. And that's the steps that we're taking. So it's all part of due diligence and it's all part of the process. But to answer the question, it's the 0.5% sales tax for the purpose of economic development.
And Jay, real quick too, just to make sure I'm
Sure.
correct, but also just to give you how awesome an EDC works, prior to the capstone event, the capstone project that we approved, I believe $2 million that we have put out from our EDC have brought us $726 million in capital projects in Orange. That is an exponential return. Am I right on that number?
It's close, yeah.
Close enough.
But I mean, it's the
yes.
principle that you're talking about in
Yes.
terms of, when you look on the return on investment based on what the city has committed, it's a job creation component, and for the next 40 to 50 years, we hope that sales tax will be generated.
Mhm.
And so it's all part of new investment. Yeah, very close.
Okay,
I'll turn it back over to you.
Are there any more questions? Okay, this portion of the public hearing.
Go ahead.
Oh.
I'm always questioning.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I think part of, and I do want to thank the City of Orange and all of my calls. You guys have been responsive and given the information that was available. I think the media story was a little not helpful because it does communicate purchased as opposed to
That's
we're
why we,
going
that's,
through a plan, we're going through.
that's why we ask people to come.
Yeah.
Thank you, yep, you're right.
Yes.
So as a tenant, we need to be speaking to TPC Realty.
They own the property.
Because they are the owners.
If they pick up the phone.
When they answer.
If they pick up the phone, but that's what we have to do. Thank you.
And we
Okay.
do want HED to come.
Did y'all have any questions? Okay.
Oh, and would it be a super HEB or what kind
I think we've turned the corner now.
Again, it's still very, very, very early. It would be, you know, as it's currently planned, it would be, I can't say standard HEB concept because there is no standard HEB concept. We go into the communities, we see kind of what fits the best in the community and kind of base our design decisions off of that when we get to that point. But it will have anything, you know, obviously right now you guys have the pantry store, you know, offerings there are kind of limited just because of the space component. This will be a full-sized HEB that will have, you know, everything else that you would see in a standard HEB, you know, for lack of a better term.
Can you give them the square footage? That'll help.
Yeah.
Roughly as it's currently set here, again, still no, this is the amount of design that has taken place, so essentially none. This current footprint is in the neighborhood of 75 to 80,000 square feet.
And the one we have now is 27.
Correct.
So that should show you. There you go.
I'm trying to think of Mid-County. They're all comparable in that way, in the sense of they have the same kind of product offerings, they have the same departmental offerings, things like that. So it would have the same kind of departments and everything. I can't remember the exact layout of Mid-County off the top of my head, but it'll be in the same kind of general neighborhood. That would be the intent.
Like Walmart, what size is it? Anybody know?
It's in a different city, so we don't. Yeah, no.
It's comparison.
Yeah, no.
And I believe me and Ms. Gravitt would like to know if there's going to be fresh tortillas.
I can't make.
Oh, come on now.
I am not an merchant team. I would love to say yes to that because obviously, who doesn't love the fresh tortillas? You can't argue with that. But again, I can't make any promises on what's inside because I'm not in the merchant team. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Does HEB, do they have a team of contractors that they build all their sites, or they go use local companies for
That's a
some
great
of that
question.
work and material and stuff?
It depends on how things go. It depends on a number of different factors. Like I said, we have a construction team that works through a lot of that. Like I said, I'm just the pre-development due diligence guy. So again, that one's outside of my kind of outside of my lane as to how all that gets selected.
We are so early in the stages of this project. I really hope that you all come back because those are questions that they will be answering as we go along. But like he said, they haven't even purchased the property yet. So we're praying that it all goes smoothly. But I hope every one of you come back and that y'all got more questions and that he's got all the answers. Okay, anybody else? Going once? Okay, I'm formally closing this portion of the public hearing. Thank you, sir. Number 6, discussion and action. A, consider a motion of intent to approve an EDC incentive for the proposed HEB project to be located at Interstate Highway 10 West at North 16th Street, Orange, Texas 77632, for eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $1.5 million for the purpose of economic development. Mr. Trahan.
Yeah, so we're at a point now where we're working the incentive package, and we pretty well discussed this earlier on in the public hearing, but it does require action by you as an EDC board to advise the staff in terms of this motion of intent, where from here it will pivot toward the council for follow-up action. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a tremendous cost in terms of front-end infrastructure, and this will help offset it. And you saw the preliminary site plan. There's a relocation of Meeks Drive that's under consideration, and the storm drainage plan under consideration. So there's a lot of moving parts, but as part of their financial portfolio and their pro formas, they're pulling all of this together in terms of, will it make sense for HEB? And this is standard practice for any economic development project. So I'll turn it back over to you as a board, and I can have the conversation directly with you if you have any additional questions.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Well, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Yay. That was the fastest motion I think I've ever seen in my life. B, consider a motion of intent to approve an EDC incentive for the proposed HEB project to be located at Interstate Highway 10 West at North 16th Street, Orange, Texas, 77632, for a sales tax rebate equal to 33% of sales tax generated at the site over a 10-year period for the purpose of economic development.
So I did mention this earlier in terms of how we're structured with the sales tax component. So the 33% basically is relative to that 0.5% restricted sales tax. So as part of the incentive package that HEB is looking at, one of the things that we can do as an EDC, subject to your approval and the council, is we can consider that property tax rebate over a 10-year period. And so as they generate this sales tax, then basically it will help replenish the tremendous amount of costs associated with the infrastructure at the site, including vertical as well. So this is allowable, and this is something that, that we're proposing to you as an EDC board, subject to your approval, and then it will pivot to the council for formal action approving yours. So I'll turn it back over to you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions?
Just a quick comment. I want to say, before we get finished with this, I want to say thank you for all those long-term tenants that have been at Northwood. That shopping center's been there for a long time. We've seen a lot of good days and some tough times there before, but y'all have been there, and I appreciate that so much. And I just want to also let y'all know that if this happens and this goes through and things do change, remember, we are open for business. Please come see us if we need it.
Moving right down the street.
Anybody else? Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Consider a motion to approve an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with BCS 7B LLC 7 Brew, 3131 North 16th Street, Orange, Texas 77630, for eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $350,000 for the purpose of economic development. Ms. Gravitt.
All right, so this property is located at 3131 North 16th Street. There was formerly an Allstate building that was here, and if you have driven down 16th Street, you may see where it has been demoed. So this concept of 7 Brew, which is a drive-through coffee concept, they also have other options that you can get, milkshakes, energy drinks, things like that, will be built in its place. So we're very excited to see this coming. This has been brought to the EDC and council prior to this meeting, and we have met that 60-day waiting period that's mandated by the state. So we're here to move it along to the next step in the process, and then if it is so approved, we will bring the agreement to the owner, Mr. Jack Berger, and we will move forward with the next step in the process. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone may have.
I know the mayor's really excited about this one.
Yeah, man, everybody loves it.
Well, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. D, consider a motion withdrawing the $100,000 EDC incentive from Ace Business Park LLC, 4200 Highway 105, Orange, Texas 77630, due to a request from project owner, Mr. James Royce Abrego.
Yes, so thank you. So sometimes projects don't work out with the best of intentions, and this is a project that's been on the radar, so right at 2 years. And so basically it was reviewed, and we've met with the project owner a number of times, and recently the project owner decided that the numbers just can't work for him at this point in time. So they always have the opportunity to withdraw the request after we've entered into an agreement. So in essence, what happens now, subject to your action and going before the council, we basically withdraw the incentive request, and then it goes back into that 0.5% sales tax fund for available projects and available funds for new projects in the future. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and this is one of those times. Now, he does reserve the right to approach us at a later date in the event that the financial pro formas work out for him and we can renew the conversation. But it does free up $100,000 to go back in the eligible funds for future projects. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, well, I certainly hope that he tries it again in the future. He seemed very passionate about that project, and I know that we were all pulling for him, so maybe he'll be able to do it in the future.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I hate to hear this, because it's definitely, as much as we love big box stores, as much as we love businesses that are known all over the US, supporting local entrepreneurs is definitely one of the main things that we love about this. And I hate to see it, but he'll be welcome to come back and try it again.
Exactly.
But it's also a reflection of what we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
that if something happens, the money goes back. So now you know that I wasn't lying. So that's good.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Number 7, reports from directors. Mr. Yu, start with you.
No, I just, I know we have some attendees, I just really want to stress it, it's been said multiple times up here, but, at the short period I've been on this board, when we go to discussions, there's always multiple businesses that we're discussing, for incentives. And that's just, just wanting to clarify how open Orange is for business.
Amen.
And,
Yep.
it's an awesome thing we've got there.
Just grateful to be a part of this, and excited for HEB to come, hopefully. And,
Proposed.
oh, I actually Googled, that's actually bigger than one of the counties, so, more space, more groceries,
Nice.
I'm just excited, and, God is blessing Orange in many ways, so.
The power of the internet.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's very nice to see everyone out and very interested in the things that are happening here in Orange. So exciting things are coming, a lot of interesting new businesses and more to come. So thank you all for being here.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say, Hillary, you ready? I sent this to Hillary, so I'm very thankful for everything. I love what Mr. Mortimer said too. So that was my wife in Huntsville, that's 7 Road, and that thing was $6. So if you wanted to see what it looked like, I was like, Hillary, can you throw this up on the screen real quick? So if you're like me and got 27 kids and need to get coffee on the budget, there you go. That made my wife happy. But no, thank you, Mr. Mortimer, for what you said. For those who may not understand, anything that we try to do as far as growth is never an attack on what got us here. First and foremost, the person that's made this possible isn't this board, isn't the council, it's not any of us individually, it's the good Lord that's blessed us. So sometimes it may seem like it's painful. Maybe it's an opportunity for, if this does come, for Market Basket to move to another side of Orange with a new building and a whole new fresh start, because I still got to go get my pan sausage and my biscuits and eggs and all of that. So I think that it's a part of growth, and I look forward to seeing what's happening in many realms of Orange. So thank you all for being here.
Mr. Mortimer?
I'm just excited. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for your participation. One of the things that I think is important is don't wait till it just gets on KOGT or on some other website. You realize you can go to the City of Orange website, you can pull up the agendas, you can look through those agendas, and we would love to see you on a regular basis, because that helps us to make sure that we're making good decisions for you. So thank you very, very much.
Ms. McKenna?
Thank you all for coming. Many of you had exactly the questions I had, so thanks for asking them, because there's things that we want to know for our community that helps it grow. And we love to have you here. We love to have you participating in what we do and stepping with us every step of the way as the good Lord blesses us day by day, as He has in the past for this community, and He continues to do so. Thank you, HEB. We love you. We want you here. Thank you, 7 Brews. You have great coffee. I spent my money, a little bit of it, in Mississippi when I went on vacation to have a 7 Brews, and I loved it. So y'all are going to love it, I think. So let's do this. So thank you for coming, and come again.
Yes, we are happy that every one of you are here. I have to share that I got a text from Jay this morning, Mr. Trahan, and he said, today, the meeting, and I said, is that today? And I seriously think that I gave him a heart attack, so. Yes. Also, I need to say, the Heritage House Museum is going to be having Dr. Howard Williams Day, I got it, on Sunday, September 7th, and we hope that you all come there. Dr. Williams is a very important person as far as the medical history of Orange and the historic preservation of Orange. He's the man, so we want to celebrate his 100th birthday. We hope you're all there at the Heritage House Museum. If that is all, we'll go to number 8, adjourn to close executive session. A, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations as authorized by Section 551 of the Texas Government Code. 1, deliberation regarding real estate development project proposal as authorized by Section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code. If you are not a member of the board or city staff, if we could ask you to go to the library where there's nice air conditioning until we're completed the section of the closed executive session. We appreciate you all being here today. Number 9, reconvene in open session. A, take action as necessary regarding item 8A1, and there will be no action on that item. So it's time for adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Meeting is adjourned.